invites real quick. I hope everybody's having a good night tonight. I know I am. Let's see. Alright, I won't spend too much time doing that. So, as you can tell by the title, I believe that masturbation is self-love, okay? And I actually, I gotta turn this down for a second. So I feel this way. I feel this way like after an intuitive process and a personal session. I realized something that has changed about myself since my separation in June, and the way I think about masturbation. Okay, and so I wanted to share that with you to empower you, especially you ladies, to rub it out. Okay, because the point I really wanted to make is this. The point I really want to make is this. In the past, and this is probably for men as well, in the past I used to think of masturbation as something you did like in the absence of. You know what I mean? Like because you didn't have any sex, then you masturbate, right? But what I realized during this single period of my life, that it's something that you should do because you want to. Like, you should just do it because you want to, okay? Because it feels good, And also to get to know yourself better, too. I love how I'm always like in line with the collective conscious, right? Because another friend of mine posted about masturbation today and kind of went on like a sex rant and kind of said like about how if you don't know how to pleasure yourself, like how can you expect a man to? And that really resonated because if you're not willing to touch yourself, then how do you even know what you like? Okay, so but what I wanted to the first point I want to make is that the way I masturbate is different than how I used to also. So I no longer do it like out of necessity or out of lack, right? I do it for pleasure. And it's not even like, oh, I recently have switched to like my masturbation I'm masturbating to the thought of me masturbating. Like it's not even about somebody else, okay? It's not even about a man. I'm not even trying to recreate that scenario. It's really about just self-pleasure, okay? And this week I actually have really gotten into just self-worship, okay? I fixed up my altar and I put my baby picture, at the center of it because I'm praising myself. I'm the one who who's been living this life, and I owe it to me, right? And in the same way that I appreciate myself as a human being a little baby girl and growing up into a beautiful woman, I also pleasure myself for my own pleasure and not because of the idea of lack, right? Uh, and so this is important for just, number one, for you and you know, to be comfortable with yourself, to be happy with yourself, to make yourself happy. Also, something that came to me a little bit later on the day, I actually wanted to have this talk much earlier. I should have done it when I was first thinking about it, right when I got out of the shower. I thought about making the video, but I just went about my day, and I was like, oh, I'll make it later, and then I was drawing cards for a friend earlier today, and I was in my, I just got in the spirit of it, but then it's like the kids were up, and the topic is sensitive, so I was like, oh, wait. So the energy has shifted a bit, so you're going to have to bear with me as I really get back into the energy. But another thing that came to me earlier today was about sex magic. Like, now, a sex ritual with another person, that's magnificent. But the thing about it is that you guys have to be on one accord, right? Or at least you want to make that happen. But when you're manifesting through orgasm, okay. When I did my research on it, I was taught, like, you should orgasm to the thought of $10,000, right? Whatever it is that you're trying to manifest. And I always found that kind of difficult to do. But now that I read tarot and I understand energy a lot better, sex is the highest vibration. The vibration is even higher than love. Okay, so like the heart chakra can open and you feel love, and a lot of telepathic things can occur, and profound things can happen just through being in the vibration of love, right? But sex is creative power. Okay, that's why we can create humans through it, right? And so when you come to orgasm and you're trying to manifest something, you should think of that goal or that end goal, or visualize that desire that you want, so that you can help to create it and manifest it into your physical reality. And I used to think that was strange to do, how to get aroused off of something that's not just like pure animalistic, sex thoughts, right? But I realized, it's the wands card, it's the passion, it's the desire. You should feel sexually aroused by your goals. It should cause a level of arousal in you, and that may not come naturally, because that's not what we've been taught, right? But consider it. Allow yourself to be activated by that. As you contemplate your desires for what you want to have in your reality, your goals, okay? Be orgasmic about it. Whatever it is that you desire, whatever it is you're working towards, should make you have an orgasm, okay? It should give you, I don't know any other word than arousal, okay? If you need $10,000, if you want $10,000, it should arouse you to excitement, right? So we don't need to think of we need to really change how we talk about sex and think about it. Like, it's not dirty. It's so human. It's so special and so powerful. And the first person that we should explore sex with is ourselves. So if it's been a while for you, pleasure yourself. Something else I want to point out too. I think I may have said a little bit earlier, but it's not necessary to create. When you're in masturbation, it's not necessary to create a scenario of two people. It's okay to just enjoy it by yourself. So, just being transparent with you guys, I recently discovered a tool, because I now live with my mom, right? And I'm newly single. And I recently discovered a tool that I used to use for masturbation as a teenager. And at first, when I first saw the tool, I was like, oh, embarrassed. And then the other day, I went ahead and grabbed that tool and used it. And I was like, oh. and what I realized is that I don't use it the same way I did. See, when I was a teenager, I was masturbating for experimentation. I wanted to know what a man's penis felt like. I wanted to know what sex felt like, right? But now I'm more like, just want to be pleased. And so I just used it in a different way, and it had nothing to do with, you know, it wasn't necessary for it to be hitting the back of my cervix. You know what I mean? Like, just, you know, the vagina has hundreds of receptors and can be pleased in many different ways. So, those are just my thoughts as I gather. This is the first of many insights into sex and how we can use it to free ourselves, free our minds, free our hearts, come closer together, manifest our desires, and get creative and love ourselves more. So, you know, love yourself more and pleasure yourself. You should do it. Oh, I have the cards in my hand. So, let's ask the cards. I wasn't even sure which tarot deck I wanted to use, but I pulled out this one instinctually, so let's ask the cards, what is masturbation good for? No. Why should we masturbate? This is my song right here. Let's turn it up. I'm a cool girl. Cool girl. Clap, clap. Why should we masturbate? Is what I'm asking the cards. Let's keep it fun so we can run. I wanna be free like you. I'm a cool girl. I'm a cool girl. I'm a cool girl. Ice cold, Why? The question is, why should we masturbate? That's what we're asking the cards. Wheel of Fortune, I'm keeping that one. That one kind of flipped out and fell on the floor. Okay. Oops. 2 dropped. Okay, so I normally just pull 3 cards, but the way they fell out, I just like, I don't know. It's like I can see a message here, but here, can you see a message here? You're able to see my cards. Okay, so I pulled 3. But I think I'm going to pull 3 more. I'm just going to go ahead. Boom, 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 boom. It's funny because I expected to get wands out of here, but I didn't. I got the world again. I got Wheel of Fortune and the world. Ace of Wands. Boom. Okay. So why? First of all, let's go through this message quickly because I don't want to make this video too long. Wheel of Fortune. So this is saying to me, masturbation is, first of all, it's a choice. You can really do anything you want with it. It's a tool of manifestation. And this is also saying to me, like, you could either think of it as a good thing or as a bad thing. You know, you could, it's what you decide. Okay? 6 of Cups. This is related to nostalgia, thinking about the past, thinking about emotional love, okay? Emotional feelings about the past, things that you used to love, so you can reminisce on things that you have enjoyed through masturbation. The Hermit, okay? This is saying to me that this is something that you could do on your own. It can also be spiritually enlightening. I have a book called Cultivating Female Sexual Energy, and it basically teaches you how to masturbate and use that sexual energy instead of releasing it. Because as I've become more powerful over all these, as I've become more powerful over this last year, I realized that sometimes when I have an orgasm, like, it's so strong that it kind of causes me a headache. And the other day, I remembered my practice of cultivating female sexual energy, and instead of orgasming out, I orgasmed in, okay? And it did not give me that same headache feeling. It did not make me feel tired, and it made me feel, it gave me energy, okay? And so the Hermit is something that this is a major arcana card, okay? And you normally would be like, I need to go think about something. But in regards to masturbation, it's like personal enlightenment. That's what it's saying to me. Four of Pentacles, it can be rewarding. Now, normally the Four of Pentacles is about, public display. But what I'm seeing here is that it can be rewarding, okay? The World card. Infinite possibilities can be made through the energy that we cultivate during masturbation. And one thing that's good about doing sex magic alone is that you don't have somebody else's energy who may not be aligned with yours messing up with your manifestation. So whatever it is that you decide to focus on is what you are going to bring into flourishing without having to feel like, without it going flat because one person believes and one person does not. And then Ace of Wands, passion. It's a passionate new beginning with yourself. Like I said, you need to be able to pleasure yourself so that you can receive pleasure from others. Okay? Let's pull a goddess card, just for fun. I'm just going to say masturbation, masturbation when I shuffle these. Masturbation. Tell us something, Divine Feminine. This is my Divine Feminine deck because these are goddesses and we all have the power to become any of these goddesses. Take on their energy at any point. Masturbation, masturbation. Masturbation, masturbation. Let's see what comes up. Masturbation. Divine Feminine. Why should we masturbate? White Buffalo Calf Woman. Reverence. Ooh. What I just say about self-love, though. We're showing reverence to ourselves. Actually, artwork. Okay, look at her. Look at her eyes. She's seductive. She ain't even made for this type of topic. Ooh, it's a 5. It's a 50, which is a 5, which is change. Okay, you can change. You can course correct. You can change the way you think, the way you feel. Okay, the direction that your life is headed in. Okay, but mostly reverence. Showing reverence to self, because I just read something on here. I wonder if it's still up. No, I scrolled away from it. But it just said basically like we need to teach young women coming up that sex is for pleasure. Like virginity, like that shit, that is something that the idea that women do not enjoy sex is just wrong. And that we should be allowed to enjoy it. Let's pull another goddess card. Divine Feminine, show us something else. adaptability. Here's what the card looks like. And I'm trying to think, adaptability. I mean, it definitely coincides with just, you know, like if you don't, you can adapt to the idea of, you can accept yourself as, you could be whole within yourself and not need anybody else to come in and pleasure you, because you're handling that yourself. I dropped a bunch. I'm pulling one more. Then we're going to go ahead and end this. The reason why I can ask the cards these questions in regards to anything is because it's reacting to my energy. Boom. Revelations. Okay? So just like I had me an intuitive process after my session this morning, you know, it's like ooh, and it's almost, you see this, she's the lightning queen or god. And so like lightning, things can be revealed to you in an instance, okay? In that orgasmic state, in that powerful sexual energy, you can realize your next steps, your actual desires, what it is that you want. So yes, don't hate, masturbate. Oh, and if you are watching the replay on YouTube, please like and subscribe and share this video if you find it helpful. And yes, thank you very much. Bye-bye.